Let's see question 1.6. 4-point charges QA that is 2 microcoulomb, QB that is minus 5 microcoulomb, QC that is 2 microcoulomb and QD that is minus 5 microcoulomb are located at the corners of a square ABCD of side 10 centimeter. What is the force on the charge of 1 microcoulomb placed at the center of the square? We need to find out force on the charge which is at the center of this square. So let us start from the square first. Here is the square I already drawn. This is QA, let us say QB, QC, and this is let us say QD, and the charges are 2 microcoulomb, this is minus 5 microcoulomb, this is again 2 microcoulomb, and this is minus 5 microcoulomb. So this is the charges on the square, and one charge is there that is of 1 microcoulomb here. Let me take this as point O, and at point O we are having a charge 1 microcoulomb. So in this case, let us see what will happen, means what about the forces on this 1 microcoulomb charge. Now if you consider this 2 microcoulomb, then this is 1 microcoulomb and this is 2 microcoulomb, both are positive. So obviously this will have, means 1 microcoulomb will have a repulsive force in this direction. Let me draw that. Here is the force. Let us say it is force due to charge A, QA, that means I will name it like FA. Let me name it like F small a. Then this minus 5 microcoulomb will attract this 1 microcoulomb towards it. So here is force due to QB, that means I will name it like FB. Then this 2 microcoulomb QC will repel it. It will repel 1 microcoulomb. So I'll draw here, this is the repulsive force, and that is, let me name it like FC. And this minus 5 microcoulomb will obviously attract it towards itself, so it is FD. So this is the condition. These are the forces applied on this 1 microcoulomb charge. So the resultant force we can write, resultant force on 1 microcoulomb is, let us say, if we name it like vector F, then vector F will be equal to FA plus FB plus FC plus FD. I am putting this all in vector form, you can see. But here one thing we can understand. Look, see this FB and FD, they both are due to minus 5 microcoulomb, you can see. These are the two forces on 1 microcoulomb due to this minus 5 microcoulomb. So they both will be same in magnitude. As well as this FA and FC is the repulsive force due to again 2 microcoulomb. They both are 2 microcoulomb, you can say, and that's why the repulsive force in magnitude will be same. That means the magnitude of FA and FC will be same. So I can write FA is equal to minus FC, because as I said that FA and FC both are same in magnitude but opposite in direction. So I can say FA is equal to minus FC. As well as the same we can write for FB. This FB will be equal to minus FD. This FD and FB both are exactly in opposite direction. So we can write that this way, and So we can now write that F will be equal to just 0. The reason is simple, all will be cancelled out. Fa and Fc are opposite in direction, same in magnitude, will be cancelled out. Fb and Fd are also same in magnitude, opposite in direction, so they both will be also cancelled out. That's why the resultant force will be 0 on the charge 1 coulomb, 1 microcoulomb. Now let us see question 1.7. A. An electrostatic field line is continuous curve. That is, a field line cannot have sudden break. Why not? The question is that why an electrostatic line is always drawn as a continuous curve? Why there is no break in between there? Second is, explain why two field lines never cross each other at any point. Let us see one by one. First, let us answer A. See, electrostatic field line. First of all, let us understand what is electrostatic field line. For example, if this is positive charge and this is negative charge, means there is a dipole, let's say, and if I place a unit positive charge, then that unit positive charge will feel a force in this direction here. We can prove this. The resultant force will be here, means there will be two forces. One force will be due to this positive charge, and that will be somewhat in this direction, and one force will be due to this negative charge, but that will be of attractive kind. So this is one force and this is another force, and so this is the resultant force. And when we say this was a unit positive charge, so the force on unit positive charge is electric field, and that's why we say that this is the electric field at this particular point. So the electric field at this particular point is in this direction. The same way, if I choose another point, let us say here somewhere, then it will come in this direction. The resultant electric field will come in this direction. Then if I choose a unit positive charge here, then it will have force in this direction, so the electric field will be in this direction. So now if I draw a curve joining all the tails of all these electric fields, then that curve is coming in this way. So this curve is known as electric field line, or say electrostatic field line. The same way you can draw nearby also, means by choosing different points, like you choose a point here and so on, and you draw the electric field, so you will get this type of curves. Again you can draw this type of curve here nearby by choosing that type of charges, unit positive charges, and so on. So that way we are getting this type of electrostatic field lines. This is known as electric field line, or say electrostatic field lines. Now the question is why it is continuous, why there is no breakage in this. The reason is simple. See, if I move on this, let us say on this curve, or say on this electrostatic field line, then there is no point at all where there is no force. Means on this curve, wherever I put the unit positive charge, it will feel force. There is no point where there is no force. So obviously throughout this curve there is a force, and that's why throughout this curve the electric field line is continuous. Rather, this curve itself is known as electrostatic field line. So it is continuous. If I show, suppose if I show let us say some gap or something like that here, let me draw like this, means I am removing this portion. So if I draw this type of gap here, it means that I want to say that at this point if I put a positive charge, unit positive charge, then it doesn't feel any force. But that is not possible, because here there is a positive charge and here there is a negative charge, and they both will be applying force at any point nearby it. and so there is no such point possible where there is no electric force, and that's why there is no point possible where there is no electric field line, and that's why the electric field line is continuous. I have taken this as example of dipole, but any charge you take, you will find the same thing. Electrostatic field line will be always continuous. Now let us see the second answer. Explain how field lines never cross each other. Okay. Now if I draw a field line, let us say this way, this is the direction of field line, and if I suppose draw another field line as well, and I also show that they both intersect each other, they both cross each other, then what will happen? Let me name this as first field line and this is the second field line. Now as per the definition, a tangent drawn to any point on the field line is showing the direction of electric field. So I choose this point and I draw a tangent here. So according to this first field line, the tangent comes in this direction. But according to the second field line, if I draw, then the tangent comes in this direction here. That means due to the second field line, the electric field direction, and due to the first field line, the electric field direction are not same. It means that at this point there are two directions of electric field. See, this doesn't mean that there will be some resultant electric field. We are saying that according to this crossed field lines, if we go, this shows that there are two directions at this particular point. Electric field have two directions at this particular point. Now electric field is a vector and vector cannot have two directions at any point. Suppose you are standing on a road, so either you would be going in right side or either you would be going in left side. You can't be going in both the side at a time. So it's not possible that you will have two directions at the same time. The same way, this electric field cannot have two directions at the same point. That means this is not possible. That means that the field line can cross is not possible. So electric field line never cross each other. Now question 1.8. 2 point charges QA, that is 3 microcoulomb, and QB, that is minus 3 microcoulomb, are located 20 centimeter apart in vacuum. What is the electric field at the midpoint O of the line AB joining these two charges? We need to find out the electric field at the midpoint O. Second, if a negative test charge, remember negative test charge of magnitude 1.5 into 10 raised to minus 9 coulomb is placed at this point, then what is the force experienced by this test charge? Okay, first of all, let me draw the situation. Here, these are 2 points, let me name it like A and B. This A is having 3 microcoulomb and this B is having minus 3 microcoulomb, positive and negative but same amount. And suppose this is the midpoint here. Here is the midpoint. So the point is, let me name it like O here. This is O. This is the midpoint. So the point is, what is the electric field at this midpoint? Now first of all, see, due to this positive charge, the electric field at this point will be radially outward, means in this right direction. And due to this negative charge, the electric field will be radially inside, means towards the charge. So again it will be in right side. So due to both of them, the electric field will be in the same direction. Let me name it like, let us say EA, and EB. This is EB. Let me make one thing clear here, that the distance, this distance will be 10 centimeter and this will be also 10 centimeter. Both will be 10 centimeter because the total distance is 20 centimeter, and it is said that this is O is the midpoint. So both will have 10 centimeter. Now look here. Both the charges are same in magnitude. Both are having same distance. That's why the electric field EA and EB will be same only. I am showing two different vector of different length just to so that it doesn't overlap and I can show it. But otherwise they both will be of same magnitude only. EA and EB will be of the same magnitude only. So finally the electric field at this point O, let me name it like EO, then EO will be equal to double the electric field of 1, that means 2 kq upon r square. I hope you are getting. What I am saying is, if I calculate the electric field of this charge only, then the resultant electric field here will be double of it, because the electric field of this charge and this charge both are in the same direction and they are having same magnitude. So I am just making a double of it. So now we can write the values. K is 9 into 10 raised to 9 and the magnitude of Q is 3 microcoulomb, so it is 3 into 10 raised to minus 6, and the distance is 10 centimeter, that means it is 0.1 meter and whole square. So finally we will get the electric field EO, that will be equal to 5.4 into 10 raised to plus 6 Newton per coulomb, and the direction will be from A to B. It will be from A to B. You can see this. The resultant electric field will be obviously from A to B. That's why here I written A to B. Now let us solve the second part. This is B. This was basically A. Now in the second part, the question is, if a negative test charge is kept of 1.5 into 10 raised to minus 9 coulomb at this point O, then what will be the force experienced by this test charge? Obviously, the force will be F is equal to, you can write simply QE. This is the equation to find out force. And now this Q is minus 1.5 into 10 raised to minus 9 coulomb. And the electric field, more specifically, this is the electric field E0. And so the electric field is 5.4 into 10 raised to plus 6. Solving this, we will get minus 8.1 into 10 raised to minus 3 Newton. This is the amount of force, and here it is minus, so we can understand the direction will be from O to A. This is, see, the electric field EO was in right direction from A to B, and here we are getting a minus sign. That means the direction is opposite of it. That means it will be from O to A. So here we have written from O to A. Now question 1.9. A system has two charges, QA that is 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb and QB that is minus 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb, located at points A, that is 0, 0, minus 15 centimeter, and B, that is 0, 0, plus 15 centimeter. So both the charges are on Z axis. You can see X and Y coordinates are 0 respectively. What are the total charge and the electric dipole moment of the system? Let us see. First of all, here is the coordinate system, this is y axis and here is z axis, and the x axis is perpendicular to the board, or say to the page, which I have not shown, and I am going to place a dipole here on the z axis, because both the coordinates are on the z axis, you can say. So now this QA, that means the positive charge, is having coordinate 0 0 minus 15. That means the positive charge is in the negative z direction, and QB is having plus 15. So the negative charge is in positive direction, positive charge is in negative direction, and negative charge is in positive direction. So let me mention that this will be QB, that means minus 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb charge, and this is QA, that is plus 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb. Now, as the coordinates are given here, this is 0, 0 and minus 15, and this is 0, 0 and 15 centimeter. Let me mention here that all the distance are in centimeter right now. So this becomes the total distance 2a. This is the total distance between two charges 2a, and here 2a is 30 centimeter. This is plus 15 and here is minus 15. So the total distance is 30 centimeter, or say 0.3 meter only. That is the distance. Now let us find out the first answer. Well, it's very simple. The total charge is 0. It's obvious, for a dipole the total charge is always 0, because minus 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 7 and plus 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 7 will be 0. Then the another is dipole moment. Dipole moment can be sorted out by the equation P is equal to 2aq. Here the distance 2a is 0.3 and the charge q is 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb. You know that you have to take only positive value of any of the charge. No negative value is taken in this dipole moment. So this will be 0.75 into 10 raised to minus 7, or you can write 7.5 into 10 raised to minus 8 coulomb meter. This is dipole moment, and the direction of the dipole moment is always from negative to positive. So you can see the QB is negative, so the dipole moment will be from QB to QA, means it will be in the negative z direction. So I should mention that towards negative z direction. So this is the dipole moment. Now question 1.10. An electric dipole with a dipole moment 4 into 10 raised to minus 9 coulomb meter is aligned at 30 degree with the direction of uniform electric field of magnitude 5 into 10 raised to 4 Newton per coulomb. Calculate the magnitude of the torque acting on the dipole. Well, this is rather objective than a numerical, I would say. Here we need to find out torque. Before that, see, this is dipole moment, what is given here. So dipole moment P is already given 4 into 10 raised to minus 9 coulomb meter, and this is electric field E, that is 5 into 10 raised to 4 Newton per coulomb, and the angle theta is 30 degree. So torque we know rho is given by Pe sin theta. It's a case of uniform electric field, so torque will be P sin theta. So it is 4 into 10 raised to minus 9 into 5 into 10 raised to 4 and sine 30. So obviously sine 30 is 0.5. So I'll put here 0.5. Now solving all this, you will get 5 and 4, 20, and so 10 raised to minus 4. It will be 10 raised to minus 4 Newton meter. So this is the